So you've decided to be a phlebotomist, and you want to know what's the best way to do that. You're at the right place, because today I'm talking about a revolutionary new way to get your phlebotomy training and become a phlebotomist. I'll share a step-by-step roadmap on how you can start your career as a phlebotomy technician in just 2 to 3 months, without enrolling in these full-time programs that cost a fortune, without taking student debt, without attending classes on a schedule. By the way, Grant here. I'm a known education expert, and I've been featured in tons of publications like Forbes, Bloomberg, and Reader's Digest. On this channel, I cover tips and tricks for busy adults to get certified faster and to get to the career of their dreams without a bunch of student loans or spending years in the classroom. Today, what I'll reveal, in my opinion, is the fastest, most affordable way to start your career as a phlebotomist, and this system is designed to give you an edge over other phlebotomy technicians. Let's get started. Phlebotomists, professionally known as phlebotomy technicians, are in demand, and over 20,000 job openings are expected each year for phlebotomy technicians over the next decade. Okay, so how do you become a phlebotomy technician? What do you need? There are 3 main things and 3 steps that you're gonna need to take. Step number 1, you need the right training in phlebotomy. To do that, you have to enroll in the right training program. This is the most important step, and this is where most students unfortunately get it wrong. But don't worry, in this video, I'll break down what critical things you need to look for in a training program and how to save money and time on your phlebotomy training. Okay, step number 2, you need to get certified. Over 93% of employers encourage phlebotomy technicians to be certified. But how do you get certified? Well, you have to sit for an exam conducted by institutions such as the NHA. Once you clear the exam, you're a certified phlebotomy technician, and you can put the CPT title after your name. The CPT is a national certification, and it's valid across the United States, irrespective of where you live. If you've wondered if you should get certified or not, absolutely yes, you should. Ideally, your training program should power you with the skills to pass the certification exams. That's why the right training program is the key. Again, more on that shortly. And finally, step number 3. You need to get some clinical experience under your belt. As a phlebotomist, you'll be drawing blood, so you need to have some clinical experience doing that before you start working. That's it. The process of becoming a phlebotomist is fairly straightforward. Get the right training that prepares you for the career and for the certification exam, get certified as a phlebotomy tech, and get some hands-on clinical experience. Now, as I said, the first and most important step in becoming a phlebotomist is your education. And this is where I see people making the most mistakes. To get your training as a phlebotomy technician, here are your options. 1, full-time programs at universities or colleges, or 2, local phlebotomy classes. These are the traditional options most people go for, and you've probably considered these yourself, but I absolutely don't recommend them. First, let's talk about why there are problems with traditional phlebotomy training. You need to be aware of these red flags and pitfalls before you spend your hard-earned money on the wrong program. In a perfect world, most people want a university program where you get a university certificate and you get to put that on your resume that you completed your education at a university. Think about it. In healthcare, there's a hard fact that we all have to accept. They care about where you went to school and the education you received. That's why doctors always want to go to the best schools. So that university certificate you get to hang on your wall is huge for your career. That university certificate builds trust in you and your skill. But then come the problems with university programs, and these can be a deal breaker for many. The biggest problem is the high tuition. A typical certificate program for phlebotomy technicians at a university can cost anywhere between $4,000 and $7,000. To afford these programs, you might need student loans. This massive pile of debt could take years to pay off. Even before you start working or get your first job, you're already under a mountain of student debt. That's why so many people want that university certificate, but can't justify the cost. Now, because of expensive programs at colleges, students traditionally opt for local phlebotomy classes instead. These are full-time classes you can attend in person at a training center or school near you. They're cheaper and can seem like a better option. But are these local classes better? Unfortunately, no. Let me explain why I don't recommend local phlebotomy classes. Number one, some of these local classes can be unaccredited, and this can be a major red flag in the eyes of an employer. For the majority of employers, completion of an accredited phlebotomy training program is an important criteria when they're screening applications for phlebotomy technicians. And if you mention an unaccredited training on your resume, that could be a big problem. Number two, many of these little schools or training centers aren't prestigious or well-known by employers. You don't get that university certificate. And I've made it abundantly clear, that's a big thing. With these local programs, they just don't look as good on your resume. Ideally, you want your training to prepare you for your career and give you a competitive edge as a phlebotomist. Local classes could fail to do that. Number three, the biggest reason someone considers local phlebotomy classes is because they're traditionally cheap. But that's not totally true, as they come with tons of hidden costs and headaches. When you take into account the cost of traveling to these classes, gas, parking permits, books, and training material, the figure just goes up. It's ludicrous. It's not the deal you think it is. And number four, it can take 4 to 12 months, full-time, every week to complete these programs. That's a lot of time when you're attending classes on a schedule. And as an adult, we're busy. We've got responsibilities, kids, schedules, etc. It can be challenging to stop everything in our lives and attend weekly scheduled classes. Things can come up and you might miss a class. And if you miss a class, you'll likely fall behind. Fall behind too much, and you may have to wait an entire year to retake the entire program again. It's a vicious cycle with in-person programs and prevents people from finishing their training. So hidden costs, lack of prestige, fixed schedules, and long course duration should be deal breakers for these local classes. I see a lot of students make the mistake of joining cheap phlebotomy classes. Look, even if you manage to get an entry-level job, you also have to consider upward mobility. At some point, you would want to move to a better job, maybe at a hospital or at a big diagnostic chain. And for such facilities, being certified, having clinical experience, and a university certificate could prove to be helpful. Local classes won't get you there. Phlebotomy training needs to be faster, affordable, and amazing for your resume. So what should you do? Now, if the university programs are too expensive and the local programs fail to give a competitive edge, what kind of training program should you enroll in? Well, don't worry. The moment is here, and I'm going to share my template for the ideal training program for phlebotomy technicians, plus an affordable training program that checks all the right boxes. If you've stayed this far, you're serious about becoming a phlebotomist. You want to enroll in an ideal training program for phlebotomists. So a few years ago, I realized that traditional training programs have flaws. So it got me thinking, if I had the luxury of creating a perfect program for phlebotomists, what would it entail? Well, the first thing is that it should be online and self-paced. The convenience of an online program and a self-paced program is unbeatable. The second thing is the program needs to be faster. You don't need to study for 12 months to become a phlebotomy technician. Ideally, your phlebotomy training should only take 2 to 3 months. Thirdly, and this is an important factor, the program needs to be affordable and accredited. You don't want to start your career under the burden of student debt, and you want that big name university certificate for your resume. Finally, and this is a big one, if the program prepares you to be a certified phlebotomy technician by NHA, then that can be game-changing, especially for beginners. If you walked into a healthcare facility as a certified phlebotomy technician and trained from an accredited university, that comes with a lot of cred and trust. Okay, guys, now this is important. If what I said all makes sense, then I've got something super interesting to reveal. A program like that actually exists. We created it. It has everything I just said, plus a lot more. I'm talking about Preppy's Phlebotomy Technician Certification Program. Preppy's program is 100% online. You get your phlebotomy training anytime, anywhere. The program is also self-paced, so you can get your training according to your schedule and comfort. Once you enroll, you get instant access to all the training material, which includes ebooks, video slides, presentations, and so much more. That means you can get your phlebotomy tech training anytime, on the couch at night, or in your favorite coffee shop. No fixed schedules, no commuting, and no boring classrooms. Preppy's program is self-paced, meaning you can complete the program in as little as 2 months. That's right, you can be done with phlebotomy school in just 2 months. Not years like other programs, months. Time is money, and the faster you get through it, the faster you can start your career. The Preppy course curriculum is designed exclusively for phlebotomists. No fluff, no extra information, and no unnecessary classes. In the beginning, I discussed why having a university certificate could be huge for your resume. Local classes fail to give you that edge, but that's not the case with Preppy. Preppy's program is in partnership with a reputable, top-ranked, nonprofit, accredited university. When you complete your training program, you get a certificate of completion from this accredited university. Think about how proud you'll be of yourself when your coworkers see that certificate proudly hanging on the wall in your office. And this could be huge for your career growth in healthcare. That's not all. With Preppy's Phlebotomy Technicians certification program, you get all the skills to crush the certification exams and be a certified phlebotomy technician by NHA. As I said, this can be game-changing. A lot of beginners don't focus on getting certified, but think about it. Hospitals and big diagnostic chains want phlebotomists who can be trusted, who know the ins and outs, and who can assist the patients. If you're a certified phlebotomy technician, that tells them you meet these industry standards. You're someone they can trust and rely on, as you've been tested and certified by this nationally recognized institution. Being certified gives you a competitive edge, as the majority of technicians who are just starting out don't focus on getting certified. After completing your training with Preppy, you can apply and sit for your certification exam through NHA to get that awesome CPT title after your name. Preppy also takes care of the hands-on experience part, as an externship is also included with the program. Your externship can be at hospitals or local healthcare facilities. With this externship, you can complete your clinicals and perform the necessary blood draws on live individuals. With typical online programs, you miss out on clinicals, and then you have to arrange for your externship or internship on your own. That's a lot of time and proves to be a huge headache. With Preppy, though, everything's taken care of, and your externship will be arranged as you're about to finish the program. You can cite this externship on your resume, and healthcare facilities or your employers would take note of that. Externships are incredibly valuable, and with Preppy, you get that. So to summarize, online phlebotomy training, university certificate, ready for national certification exams, and an externship for your clinicals. With Preppy, we've tried to check all the boxes. Essentially with Preppy, you're job ready as a phlebotomy technician within just a few months. Now, how much does it cost? As I stressed earlier, your phlebotomy training shouldn't put you under the burden of student debt. And Preppy is insanely affordable. Right now, at the time of making this video, you can enroll in the program for just one low price of $15.99. That's absolutely insane. In other words, it's the best of all worlds, so you don't have to compromise. Everything I talked about is included. Everything you would want in a phlebotomy tech program, Preppy takes care of it, and at an insanely low price. You can also enroll using payment plans. Ultimately, Preppy gets the seal of approval from phlebotomy techs across the country. If you want to enroll, click on the link in the description below the like button. I'll also add it to the pinned comments. 100% online and self-paced, in partnership with a well-known accredited university, it prepares you to be NHA certified, an externship opportunity is included, and it's insanely affordable. So if you want to become a phlebotomy technician in 2023, you could get your training with Preppy's Phlebotomy Technician Certification Program. Click on the link below to check it out and enroll. Grant here, and I'll see you next time.